I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast. Everything in life has risk. In our vanilla life, we learn how to work around those to survive. Every kink also has some level of risk. We lower the risk with education and training. Some kinks can be riskier to people with medical issues or past drama, and those kinks should be avoided if possible. Kinks, in the end, should bring us some kind of pleasure and satisfaction. It shouldn't further the mental or physical damage that you already have. This is where the importance of aftercare comes in. It helps start the healing, that is, the mental healing and the physical healing from a scene. For the most part, you'll purposely get hurt during a scene. Let me repeat that. Within BDSM and kink, for the most part, you'll purposely get hurt during a scene, but the damage done is not supposed to be permanent. You will heal. Now, edge play is an umbrella term for kinks that are considered very risky. Even with a lot of education, training, and experience, edge play is still considered very risky. Things can very easily go wrong, and that's what makes certain things edge play. Even if the bottom of the scene is in perfect mental and physical health, real harm can potentially happen. Now, hurt and harm are two terms that are used a lot when we're talking about kinks and their risks. Hurt is causing some level of mental or physical pain that will heal. It's typically something that's pleasurable in something like subspace or pleasurable, like it's a fetish or a kink, and it does not cause permanent damage to the bottom. Harm, however, can be permanent or life threatening damage that will most likely require professional assistance in order to heal. Harm can also be fatal, like in breath play. If you inflict harm in breath play, it could mean somebody passing out and dying. It could mean a fatality. Hurt is what we strive for in a scene. Harm is what we get if we don't educate ourselves on a kink and vet our potential partners. Even with doing everything correctly, it is possible for the most experienced people in this lifestyle to make mistakes or for just things to happen, things that we can't control within our own bodies, and harm to come to their partner. Let me emphasize that by repeating it again. Even with doing everything correctly, it is possible for the most experienced people in this lifestyle to make mistakes and harm their partner. This is the risk that you take when including any of the kinks that are considered part of edge play. I want to add that there is risk in all kink, but we lower that risk to a minimum with vetting, with communication, negotiation, education, and training. Edge play kinks are some of the most risky and dangerous kinks in this lifestyle. Don't let someone pressure you into giving consent with any kinks that you're not into or you're not ready to experience. This is especially true to the kinks that fall under edge play, as it takes a lot of vetting a partner, negotiating the scene to great detail, and mentally, physically preparing for the kink. Not to mention, people have to have extremely well prepared technique and practiced technique in order to do a lot of different types of edge play. Here are some things that are typically considered edge play: fire, anything to do with blood or cutting, electricity, consensual non-consent, which is also sometimes put under the acronym CNC, and breath play. And depending on who you ask, some kinksters may also include rope bondage and permanent markings like branding under edge play. Um, Rope bondage can cause serious nerve damage if it's done incorrectly, but with lots and lots of practice, you'll lower that risk. With permanent markings, you're causing a wound, and there will usually be blood involved, which puts everyone at risk for spreading things like STIs. And the person getting the wound is also at a risk for getting an infection. Some things like needle play are typically also considered edge play to a lot of people. There are parts of each of the kinks that are not risky. It can give some of the desired sensation without too extreme of a risk. For example, for fire play, fire cupping is a lot less dangerous than being set on fire or fire flogging. And there are a lot of different types of kinks that could be considered edge play, and you definitely want to know the safety info and what are safe alternatives for the more extreme ones. And that comes with doing your homework, doing your research and your education, and also finding out what things you personally may like or you personally may be interested in. And then also, if you have a partner that you regularly play with, find out what things they're comfortable with and what things that they are into and what their boundaries and limits are as well, because it generally takes a top and a bottom in a scene. And so both the top and the bottom are both going to have boundaries. They're both going to have limits. They're both going to have likes and dislikes, uh, and we just need to be considerate of all the persons involved in a scene. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast, talking about edge play. And you can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on your favorite platform, please leave a like, a subscribe, a review, a thumbs up. Thanks for engaging with us. It really helps us because it encourages us to see and read your feedback, but it also helps other adults find necessary BDSM educational resources like this. And when adults are educated within BDSM, it makes our entire BDSM community better. So thank you for racking up that good karma and doing your part in making our community better. It's been a joy talking with you today, and I'll talk with you again soon.